What's up, wrestling fans? JP Parsonage, formerly Johnny Devine of TNA here. This is the Heat Seat here on the Fight Network, where I answer the wrestling fans' questions about all things wrestling, no kayfabe, no BS. We're gonna get right to it because over the last couple of weeks, I've had a number of the same question come up, which I'm going to address right now, and that is, what about wellness policies? Are they for real and do they work? Well, I can tell you from experience, they are for real. I have physically been tested, blood and pee, and yes, they do absolutely work. And how can you tell? Because the talent nowadays are getting smaller. Look at guys like Jack Swagger, like Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, or Ted DiBiase Jr., guys like Jay Lethal or the Motor City Machine Guns. Back in the day, these guys would have been huge, and they would have had to have been because office members would have constantly been in their ear to be getting bigger. You've got to grow, you've got to put on more size. Nowadays, that doesn't happen. And with the younger, newer talent being better educated, it doesn't have to happen anymore because younger, newer talent now are better equipped to deal with these kind of things. They are better educated in areas like nutrition, better educated in areas like supplementation, and they know how to work out smarter and harder now. So these guys don't have to be on things like steroids to be able to compete. Wellness policies do work, but there is one thing that I believe, in my opinion, that absolutely needs to be changed, and that is both major companies need to do something about their marijuana policies. I am of the opinion that their marijuana policies need to be negated and marijuana needs to be legalized within the companies. Yes, this is going to create some controversy and people are going to be opposed to this idea, but here is why. Because wrestlers spend so much time on the road away from their families, are constantly working through injuries, and are constantly putting their bodies through all kinds of pain, something needs to be done for these guys to have some sort of coping mechanism. The current coping mechanisms obviously aren't working because we're losing guys from the older classes at a far too fast a rate. It's perfectly legal for a guy to go down a handful of Vicodins with a bottle of vodka and pass out in his hotel room because he can't get to sleep. But it's illegal for a guy to go up to his room, smoke a joint, and pass out in his room with a belly full of pizza. If TNA and WWE had their doctors writing medical marijuana prescriptions for the boys, then you would see a lot less, well, obviously you'd see a lot less of these $1,000 fines that WWE hands out, and you'd see a lot less suspensions, but you'd also see a bigger upturn in morale, guys would be a lot happier, and you'd see a lot less deaths. But then, what do I know? If you've got questions, quandaries, concerns, or queries, by all means, send them in to me here, jp@thefightnetwork.com. In the meantime, and in between time, that's it, another edition of the Heat Seat. Thanks for joining me. Stay cool.